I'm gonna show you one of my favorite spots in Central Park. I like this spot because it really feels truly like Central Park. You get a view of the East Side, Midtown, and the Upper West Side, all from one spot. Basically, I'm on 97th Street, and this is the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. Today, I kind of felt like just being lazy and answering some questions because I'm quite tired. Life has been very hectic recently, which I'm really grateful to say. I wasn't really concerned about coming to New York and being bored, but I was concerned about just how much work I'd have to do. I barely have had one day to catch up, but it's good. It's all good stuff. Either way, I've been feeling slightly burnt out recently, so I figured the best way to combat that would be just to sit down and do something sort of uncreative. So therefore, I asked you to answer me questions on Instagram. I'm just going to answer the questions, okay? What's my favorite part about living in New York City? I think the tougher skin that it's been slowly providing me with. A lot of times for my job, if I'm PAing, I have to talk to random civilians, which can be really scary at first. I'll tell them, sorry, we're filming here. Can you walk one block up and over? Most people will say, yeah, sure, no problem. Some others will stick their fingers right in my face and tell me to fuck. It's really lovely. Besides work, just in general, living in the city, you kind of have to have some tougher skin because people can be very rude sometimes. Most New Yorkers I found are very nice, actually. I feel like there's a spectrum of niceness in New York. Most New Yorkers are very nice, helpful, considerate. They see someone struggling, they're gonna help that person out. But on the other side of the spectrum, you have a lot of those people too. People that are kind of just angry at the world, maybe. Those are the people you try to steer clear of, but it's kind of unavoidable sometimes. But I love that blend because I need that in my life. And besides that, I would just say the ambiance of this city. All parts of it, even the parts that don't seem as beautiful on the surface, there's still so much history and quality of life and community built into every inch of the city. So I love that. Do you miss Florida? I'm gonna be honest, no. I miss what's in Florida. I miss my family. I miss my dogs. It's always going to have such a special place in my heart and will always mean something to me. I don't know. My life up here just feels so much more fulfilling. Every little task, no matter how big or small, it's like a journey to get it done. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes that sucks. But it's just more fulfilling. Life at home kind of just felt more mundane. Yeah, mundane. Mundane's a good word. What have you been up to? Good question. Everything and nothing, I feel like. My two main sources of income right now are PAing and freelancing. But each day more and more, I think I'm leaning towards wanting to pursue YouTube full-time for my career. Of course, that takes a lot of time to get to that point, so I'm kind of just in this period where I don't have the time I want to dedicate it, but I do have ideas and creative energy, so I don't know. It's a stressful time, but overall really good and exciting, so there's nothing to complain about. PAing is super cool, but I don't know if it's exactly the route that I want to take to get to where I want to be. It's a very stressful job, and the hours are really long and hellacious. But it is really cool, and you do meet a lot of interesting people, so has a lot of pros and cons. Freelancing's cool. I love being able to bring a client's vision to life and then seeing their positive reaction about it, so that's always fun. But my heart's just with YouTube, I feel like. I don't know. I want to make movies, for sure, but I'm hoping that maybe I could create YouTube videos and then use that to leverage funding for films in the future. I just don't know. I originally filmed this video a few days ago, and I only answered 3 to 4 questions because I wanted to be able to give thoughtful answers. But since then, there's been one question that I've been asked almost 10 times now, so I feel like I should answer it. The question in question being, what has been the most surprising thing about New York City? It's a pretty good question, and there's a lot of things about New York that surprise me every single day. But believe it or not, one of the things that surprised me most is how safe I do feel here. That might be an unpopular opinion. I don't know, honestly. I also don't care. So when you listen to the news and when you follow social media so carefully, you're acutely aware of everything that's going wrong in the world, and that is just not a healthy lifestyle to live. I'm not saying that this is the safest place on earth. That's false. But what I am saying is that you have a collective group of people around you basically at all times. I wouldn't advise to walk around by yourself in the dark anywhere in the city, but that's just me. But other than that, I feel like for the most part, New Yorkers, or at least all the New Yorkers that I've met, are really cool people, and they look out for one another. I feel the most unsafe when I go into places that are filled with tourists. But most other places that you go, you have people that are just living their day-to-day lives. And those people I've found are good people. Most people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not naive in the sense that I think that all people here are great and everyone's a good person and has only good intentions. What I am saying is that collectively, I think that this city gets a dangerous reputation on social media. When in reality, if you walk through it, you'll see that that's not completely true. It's not scary the way media makes it seem.